to figure out where I wanted to be live today. Okay. Welcome to the replay. If you're watching the replay, usually the first 10 seconds get cut off, so I always try to wait to say that, but welcome to the replay. If you're watching the replay, I'm Auntie Tay. If you're new here, that's who I am. If you're not, welcome back. I've missed you. Okay, today I'm getting stuff done. I am working on a 3-foot 3D letter L, and I thought I would do this one live because I want to do all of our letters eventually, but L seemed not so overwhelming, and somebody asked me to do one for them, so I thought, what a better time. And we're live. Okay, I just want to make sure we're squared up. And are we look good that you can see everything? Let me check it out. Cool. Okay, so what I did was I cut out our 3-foot letter L, and realistically the hardest part was the front, but it was the least scary part because I only needed 3 pieces. But you have to use 24 by 12 inch paper, and I only had 3 sheets of silver, so I was really scared about that. And then when I was sizing it, I was trying to make it the max size. So this is the back of the L, this is the front of the L. The hardest part is the sides, so we're gonna assemble those, and luckily I had a lot of this color pink, so I did make one mistake, and I had room to make one mistake, so that was good. But I need to manually score one of the pieces because it just was coming in just slightly too big. So I'm going to show you guys just a hack for if you don't want to score with your machine, or if you have the Cricut Maker and the scoring wheel and you're like, I don't want to replace my blade every single cut because we're cutting so many pieces of paper, then we will manually score this one. But all my other ones are scored with the machine. Hack, if you have the Maker and it wants you to use the scoring tool, the scoring wheel, you can actually bypass that and use your scoring stylus. That way you can use your blade and your scoring stylus at the same time, which saves you a lot of time. So for the L, I needed 6 pieces for the sides, 3 pieces for the front, and 3 pieces for the back. That's just for the construction of the letters, but I am going to be adding Star Wars add-ons in jumbo to these, which I'm super excited because we have add-ons for like every character inspiration. I'm not going to do it in this video, so I may pop in with you guys tomorrow for a second and just go show you guys what it looks like. If not, I'll post a picture because this is for somebody's birthday party who is creating content, so I'll have pictures of this. Okay, so I'm just going to line these up and make sure my scoring spot is in the same spot as my other pieces of paper, and I'm just going to run the scoring stylus down manually. Now, I know some professional paper crafters who still do this. They prefer to manually score, so if it's your jam, then more power to ya. Do that. Okay. So if you guys are interested in making these humongo letters, and I see more people making them, I will spend some more time designing like shaker elements to them. I designed them, well, our team designed them like a year ago, and I kind of debuted them, was it 2 years ago now? It was a while ago. And I've only made a T and a B. Oh, okay, I'm gonna go on this side because I'm left-handed. So yeah. Okay, so the first part, like obviously the front is going to be the easiest part to assemble. The sides are the hardest part because they get pretty big. So like standing room is important. And I saw someone here. Welcome. I can't see the replay of the comments. Chat live publicly. Hey, Missy. Okay, so now The sides of all of 6 of these are going to be folded, but sometimes they fold up and sometimes they fold down. So I like to construct the whole thing before I figure out how they get folded. Otherwise, you're going to be folding them and then refolding them if you go the wrong way. So we don't want to do that. So let's construct the front really quick so you can just see how big this letter is going to be. It's not ginormous, but it's pretty big. So the front is these 2 pieces, and it scores so that it gives you like a line to line up to. And the thing I love about these jumbo letters is hot glue is a really fast way to put things together, and you don't have to sit and finick with like tiny little pieces of glue. So we are going to use some hot glue today. This hot glue gun's been on for a second, but oh, you know what? I think it just got unplugged because my plug is being goofy. Okay, I gotta plug him in to be more secure. Hold on, guys. Wait up. We gotta get him into our other... I put plugs all over the studio so they're accessible, but some of them might not work very good. Okay. So I just gotta get a different extension cord for that side. How's everyone doing? Anyone here? What's going on? Hey, Clarita. So we did our first Pinners conference. It was so fun. It was a lot. We were on our feet all day. Next week we'll be back for Bling and Blabber, so we will go into details of just like stuff like that. I'm already dreaming up all the Dallas stuff. Like, I learned so much. Okay, he might need to heat up a little bit, but I'll just tack him while we're waiting, and I'll go in and reinforce him in a little bit because I want to get the sides started. I'm going to show you guys how easy the sides are to do. It's just a hefty size. Like, it's really easy. Sometimes it's easier to do big projects because it's just not like tiny little pieces of paper and stuff. Okay, so then this side is scored. You can kind of see where that line is. That's where we glued this one. I need a new 3D number soon. My baby getting bigger already. Oh yeah. So do the number. So my friend who I'm doing this for, her daughter's first birthday, she asked me to do the L, and we were like, okay, I want to like construct it before Pinners, but I had so much to do before Pinners, so I was like, I'll just do it when I get back and I'll do it live. But we were trying to figure out, like, is there a word we can make with an L? Because I would really love to do these for Pinners conference and have people be able to take pictures with cute words, but like construct the whole word. Plus we can just assemble them when we get there and travel with them flat. So I thought that would be really fun. But we couldn't figure out a short enough word that had an L in it, that was something people would want to take pictures with, that I felt like having around for a long time. I was like, love, live, live. I don't know. So LOL, but it all worked out because these don't take that long. And so when you notice there's seams and stuff, one thing I want to start doing is like showing you guys how to embellish these, and I'll see how crazy I get on this L because I really want to learn, but that's 5 letters. I didn't want to cut out 5 humongous letters. There's a lot of words. I was trying to keep them down to under 3 letters because I did not want to make that many. But for Dallas, I was like, that would be really, really fun. Okay, so the best part about these sides is they have little guides to show you where to attach them. So if you've ever made our small 3D letters, you're basically making the piece that you would cut small. So like on our small ones, this would be all one piece, but because these are so big, we have to cut them and then put them back together. And so there's these little guides, like this one's the star. I think there's like a 4-point star and a 5-point star. And you want to line up those scoring lines as much as possible, and that little cut guy. Okay, this is why I want to do this with you. I want to see if lining up the graphic, or don't worry about the graphic, that just helps you put it together. Line the actual paper up where you need it and glue it together. and then you'll want to cut your front and your back twice. So, so what number are you making, Clarita, or what number will you make when your baby is your baby 2? All right. My glue gun is not very much slag, and I'm more of a right-handed glue gun person, so I'm like, come over here a little bit. It's okay. Isn't that funny? I'm left-handed, but I do everything right-handed. I hot glue right-handed. I scissor right-handed. I cut right-handed. 8. Oh, that's not a baby. That's a big old kid. Briley, I actually need to go pick her up in a little bit. She's taking her permit test today. Okay, so this is actually 2 of 3 whole sides. So if it still has a shape, then it means it's still got to keep going. You keep going until there's no more shapes on the end. And look, I got grease on this, so I'll have to try to make this the inside. My hands, I don't know if they got greasy off of the Cricut wheel, but I was like, well, that's dumb. Okay, so this lines up and it's like a full piece of paper. It's not on a scoring line. So I am going to line it up right to where the paper starts to go in. So it's just like one solid shape here. He's still my baby. Oh no, let me tell you, they will always be your baby. I like, sometimes when I'm talking to my kids, their face just morphs into a little baby, and I'm like, you're my little baby, even though you're taller than me. Landis is taller than me, Briley is not. So at least I can look down on one of my kids still. It is crazy how something so tiny can turn into something so big eventually. Okay. And they also get to an age where they don't like being called big. They're like, I get it, I'm growing up. Like, when they're little, they want to get big, but then you get to an age where you're just like, okay, you can stop using the word big, please. Okay, so now that whole side is complete. You see how big that is? It's nice and big. And then the folding part is the part that can be a little finicky. So I think this is 2 pieces. And if you really are like wanting to do these a lot, I suggest go and cut out the small version too, and maybe even like have a guide cut out for you so you can kind of visually see, okay, they go in, out. The more you do the letters, we also have a playlist on our letters. Crafty Mommy Bees did it for us. There is a full guide to assembling every single letter. And then we also have the guide to assembling the shaker letter and the hollow letters so that you can put things inside of your 3D letters. So if you're ever like, I just need to know, like, does it fold in, does it fold out? Most of the time you can figure it out, but if you're doing a lot of letters and you just don't want to like think about it, check out that playlist. It's like they're just assembling the playlist. I'm really hoping I get the sizing right on this. Does this one fold? Oh no, oh, this was the one I hand scored, so I need to score right here too. That's why. Okay, the one I hand scored might be off a bit because I hand scored it. So I suggest if you can use the Cricut, try to use the Cricut for your scoring too. Because I'm like, where is my stopping line? Where is my stopping line? I'm gonna stop right where the paper starts to go in on both sides. What is everybody currently working on? I also don't anticipate too many live people watching this because I did not tell anyone I was going live. I just wanted to get this out there into the world. And we have all 26 letters in 3-foot size. These can be cut 3 foot on your Cricut. They can actually only be cut 3 foot, I believe, on this and the Venture. So whether you have the big machine or the little machine, you can still do this. That was something I really wanted to make sure, like, it's not just for the jumbo sized machine, that you can still do this. Okay, so a very large piece. And this is why I like to fold the sides after, because they have to like line up with each other together. You don't want it to accidentally fold not in the right spot and then fold on the different spot on the one that it's supposed to be stuck to, like glued together to, you know? You know what I'm saying? And the more you do these, the more you'll get familiar with like techniques and stuff too. This is only the third one I did. So I did a B because that was the hardest one we have. And then I did a T because that's obviously me, and it was easier. This L is even easier than the T. It's a little less curves. It's one whole side less curves. So there's that. Okay, so these are going to be the front, they're going to be the innards of the L, and then they're going to attach our front to our back. So what I like to do is figure out the pieces and where they go before I start folding anything. So so I know this side right here is the one side that is the smallest, and the only one that doesn't have, well, it's like the smallest side. So start with a side that's like, you're like, okay, I mean, obviously I could find the long side too. So we can just, whichever one we see first, we can figure out, okay, that goes there. So like this score line and this score line is going to be that second to longest side. And I already know, since I want this to be the inside, I know I'm going to fold inside like this. So like you might start by looking for a specific side and you might realize like, okay, but I would suggest if there are sides that are exactly the same size, don't just start folding thinking that that's the side that you're on. You want to always go with the side that is only has one that length, because then you'll know for sure. And then if the next step is to figure out if we're going this way or this way, because if it's going this way, then these will go in. If it's going that way, then they will go in the other way. So if that makes any sense, if I'm not making sense, just let me know. I like your bracelet the other day, Missy. Did you guys see each other live? I'm busy working my day job right now, but learning how to make bracelets. Cute. I was working on a tote bag earlier. Fun. I'm thinking tote bags would be the funnest make and take for pinners, because everyone needs stuff to put things in that they go around and buy. And I'm not going to get too finicky about that because that's going to be on the inside of all the letters. Okay, so then the next part is this. So, so this is the inside of the L, and I'm doing it this way. So then now I know this goes here, and see there's that shortest side we were talking about. It just has a little tab on it. So now I know I'm gonna fold this way. And you'll start to see the letter construct eventually too. So then that way now I know that this side, since this is going to glue to this side is going to come in as well. And you can do these with mixed media. You can do them with vinyl and layer on the fronts. Like, I wouldn't suggest mixed mediaing the sides, maybe add-ons, but I wouldn't suggest like trying to do the sides out of anything but paper. My son wants a universe themed birthday party. Can you make some party projector decor? Party projects decor. It might be too last minute, but I need for October, but it's not. Others might still like it. Wants a universe theme party. So we have, actually what I'm making right now, we have like Star Wars stuff that you could use for like the planets. Are you talking like that, like space universe? Is that what you're doing? Because we have all the space elements as well. And I actually was looking through the space stuff and I was like, I need to make sure that the space category has everything in it. So I have a lot of that, but also use the file request on the membership. I will definitely look at that. Okay, just making sure, double checking before I get crazy. So they may all fold the same direction, but I feel like the letters that get crazy, I feel like the B had that little nook in the middle that got me like super confused. This is actually a very easy letter. I'm glad I'm doing an L. Yes, more than just galaxy. So what else is universe besides galaxy? What, give me some ideas. What's universe? Yeah, what does a universe party look like if it's not just galaxy? I need more insight. Okay, you see how we're doing here? We got one half the L, and now I know the other side is just one straight turn. And then we will assemble. Actually, before we put this on, then I'll fold these as well, because you don't want to fold it while it's glued to the front, while it's like floating in the air, because you need solid surface to like push your folds against. So you definitely want to do all your folding before you start assembling the 3D part of it. It's really just the figuring out which way your folds go, and then once you have that down, it's pretty fun to put it all together. And I really want to make this a shaker and put glitter in the front, but since I'm new to these big old letters, if I have time and I figure it out easily, I'll do it. But I definitely think I could do like at least another layer a little bit smaller, and layer it with like, foam, so it's got that cool pop out look. But I am going to be adding Yoda ears. So this is a girly pink and white, pink and black and white and silver Star Wars theme. So I was super excited. And she was originally going to do Disneyland themed, which I was excited about too. But then I was like, well, I'm still excited about this theme because that's so cute. Okay, before I fold this tab, I want to make sure. He wants a black holes party. I don't know how I'm going to accomplish that, but we'll try. Black hole party. Okay, so fun. I wonder if my friend Alex would let me use some of his photography for our sublimation files, because I have a really good friend Alex that sits out for hours with his telescope and takes pictures of space, and he's got stunning photos of galaxies and nebulas and all the things. So I could see like, hey, Alex, you willing to like sell me some of your art so I could turn it into like sublimatable graphics? He probably would actually love it, because I'm like, let's turn it into a tie. Let's turn it in. Maybe if I make him some stuff, he'll just give me some of his photos. Black hole. Okay, what's the science behind a black hole? I know I like space. I do. I know a lot about space. I just don't know, like, there's people who like space and then there's people who like space. So I don't know, like, I know black holes, like, if you get sucked into it, you go to a different dimension or something, right? But what does a black hole even look like? Like, how do you create a black hole? You could do, like, the door coming into the house, like, with a black tablecloth and like streamers and stuff, and then like transport them into a whole nother universe when they get inside. And that's super basic and easy. And there's your black hole. Okay, one thing if you're using the hot glue is try not to hot glue where you're supposed to fold, because it hardens. So I forgot about that. I'm running into that issue in a couple spots that I did. Could make just like a gap right over the score line so you're not folding through hot glue. Do as I say, not as I do. That's what teaching is all about, right? This is also the one I think I scored, so I'm like, I hope that's in the right spot. Ugh, my nails. I ripped them all off last night after pinners. And I just had them like painted one color. Black circle with like everything swirling around it. Who wants to make black hole cake? I don't know. Yeah, that's so fun though. What a fun birthday theme. The Toy Story party has some cute space stuff. You could probably use some of those elements. That would be something you could tap into. Then the Star Wars banner. We have whatever I create for the cake topper, because I'm kind of coming up with new stuff for this party too. Could probably be used for universe and space too, because it's Star Wars. Do you prefer these videos live, or do you prefer them nice and edited? Or do you, I know a lot, whenever I ask that, people are like, I love to see you struggle. I'm like, okay. And they like to see it in real time too, but sometimes I'm like, sometimes you just want instruction too. Okay, so here we have the longest side and the bottom, so you can see how big this L is gonna be. Like, she's 1, so it's gonna be taller than her, which I'm excited about because how cute. And it's gonna be like the main thing in the photos. So I'm excited for it. Okay, so since this one's the easiest, I think I'm gonna construct it first onto the L. So actually you could do the back first, just in case you miss any line. That's what I like to do. I'm going to construct the back first, and I'm going to glue it all to the back, and then we're going to go in on the top. That way we can make sure all the edges are like perfect. So let's do the back first. Okay. Again, this is a little bit easier if I was standing. My big old table is like a sit down at table, or it was just weird being live and trying to get everything. Okay, so let's put this together. We also have to make sure that this one's going, well, I guess it doesn't really matter because it's double-sided cardstock. If it's one-sided cardstock, then you really have to pay attention to if your letter is backwards or forwards. If it's not, and you make it backwards, you just turn the paper the other way. But we do want to actually try to get the seam, like the ugly seams on the inside of the letter too. So you could be conscious of that. Obviously we can embellish our letter with lots of fun cuteness. You can put silk flowers on them. You could put obviously our add-ons on them. Another thing, I want to make sure it's the exact size it needs to be. Man, I gotta be a little bit more cautious. Hold on. I have to be mindful. I have to be demure. Oh my gosh, mindful comes up so much these days. And so now I'm like, I like being mindful. I mean, you have to be mindful in life, right? Okay. I feel like crafting is a very mindful thing. You have to like do everything in steps and properly and all things. Okay, so since this is going to be the back, and L is going to be like this, and then this is going to be the back. I want to make sure that seam, although that seam looks better, I want to make sure the better side is down. And then we'll glue this on like so. Look at this. I just want to make sure it looks, I actually kind of like the tab, seeing the tab versus seeing the seam versus seeing that. What do you guys think? It's the back of the letter anyways, but I still want to make it look good because, you know, people look at things when they're in person too. It's not just a video. That's the thing about doing in-person stuff. And like, I had a lot of our ears and none of the backs were finished. It worked out because I was able to like show people, look, these are MDF, and I just painted them and glittered them and decorated them. But yeah, next time I'll make sure the backs are really done because I want them to look really cute. Okay, so here's our back, and then we're gonna glue down to the back. Then we'll do the front, because feel like you learn better too, and you want the front to look the prettiest. So by the time you got all your kinks out, you're working on the front. All right. So we're like this. I actually want to work on the inside of the L, not on the outside of the L, so I can actually see it. So I'm gonna just tack to make sure my sizing is right before I glue everything down, because I want to get it. The last thing you want to do, especially if you're using, well, I mean, any glue really will rip the paper if it like solid, if it, you know, dries and then you make a mistake. So what I'm going to do is I am going to go in and just get my corners down with just a little dab of glue, and then we'll reinforce. We have to be mindful. We have to be demure. Just the tiniest little dot. And then we're going to tack it. And really, the bottom is super important because the bottom is what holds it up. So you want to make sure, I mean, obviously the whole thing is important because it's very big and you want it to look really good. So, but we can embellish and we can add things if some stuff is just like slightly off. But what we can't do is we can't make it stand up if it's crooked. So we want to make sure like the bottom is really, really good. All right, I'm gonna have to stand up a bit for this, guys. As much as I'm trying to be. That looks so good. Okay, so it is a little off at the top. Let me move you guys out of the way. Okay, so you guys see the corner? We're gonna get the corner down in the proper spot. I'm gonna tack here and tack here, and then I'm gonna get that corner in place perfectly and just tack those down like so. And it'll get very sturdy when the top gets on there. And so this is what I was saying, is our large ones need embellishing, but I can take another piece of paper or something. I'm gonna go in and put pieces of paper on the inside to cover all these designs. I may convert the files to not have such big, obvious things, because okay, I'm gonna just tack. He is perfect, like perfect size, everything. Okay, we're just gonna tack and tack. You guys can see the inside for a second. So the inside looks like this, and what you're doing is you're gonna glue all this down, and it's actually harder to do the second side, which is the front, but the front is nice and sturdy because it's cardstock. I mean, this is all cardstock, but I'm using glitter cardstock for the front, so it should be a little bit more secure. Okay, so let's tack. Come on, hot glue. Turn it over here. Has anyone ever made, I know Clarita, you made the number. Did you find anything hard, easier than you thought, harder than you thought? You know. Okay, and then once we get the sizing in here, so this, you got to make sure you're on the right side, the correct side, which is complicated. So, okay, you see the more curves there are, the more complicated it gets. So if you want to start with an I, that one's probably the easiest. So let me show you guys without this falling off, hopefully. I have to adhere this to the end of the, let me just do the other part of the L because it's more secure over here. Okay, so we have to get this L together. So now I know how to fold this tab. I'm gonna fold it in. Even if I'm confident, I still just like to do it in order because I don't want to make any mistakes, especially when I'm live too, because I make far more mistakes when I'm live because my brain is on talking to you guys. Okay, so we just want to get our sizing. We want to glue these all together. Oh, I can come over here, duh. Okay, so we're gonna tack all of our little corners and make sure, so you can see that the L is just slightly too big right here, which is fine because I can just fold this tab in just a little more. You can always score it too, like if it helps you fold this, if it's like just slightly too big and you want to cut it or like fold it just a little bit, I'm going to manually score this just inside of it. Like so. I'm going to, I want it to come in just a little bit. This might be the one I manually scored to start. Okay, so now I can fold it in. If you can, use your Cricut to score because the design will be exactly the size you need. I don't know how people manually score their projects all the time, but they do. It works for them. Okay, let's see the sizing now. Perfect. Yeah, I think that was the piece that I scored. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. We'll find out because when we get to the part that I really did screw up. Okay, so I'm gonna do this corner. I'm gonna tack and tack. We're gonna get this corner perfect. And come in here and push those tacks down. Oh my goodness, it's a perfect little fit down here. But I want this tab to go on the inside because we don't want to see that. We want to just see that raw edge right there. So now I'm going to tack here. Get this just nice. I mean, you can go in and secure, but I feel like it's kind of like when you're putting together a piece of furniture. You don't tighten the screws until you're all done. So you get everything kind of put together, and then once it's all kind of, so that way you don't like get things all broken on sides, you just kind of get it assembled. And then once it's assembled, you go in and you screw it all down. And I'll spare you guys that. I'll show you like what I'm gonna do, but we're not gonna do that together. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna tack this little corner. This is perfect. I love doing the easy letters. And honestly, my other daughter is an L. I was like, of course I had to name my daughter with a B, but I have an L too. But this is for a little girl named Layla. And they're doing Princess Layla. Isn't that so cute? Okay. All right, let me see if I can show you guys. I don't know if I can get you guys that good. Okay, so you'll tack it. I just don't want to waste more time when I need to like stand and maneuver. And then what you'll do is you'll go in at, you'll go, I would secure it. I would tack it and then I would secure it all the way around. And then I'm going to go in with this guy. And it can be a little bit finicky to get those tabs because you're not going to get them fresh against the front. But going in and just kind of, I mean, before you even secure the top might be a good time so that way you can like stick your arm down in and get the tacking done, or work your way up before you secure things and tack everything like this. So I'm gonna go live again with the Star Wars add-ons. Now our add-ons are, I don't have an example, I'll bring some down for the next live, but our add-ons are these character inspired pieces that you can cut with your Cricut or your laser, out of wood, out of acrylic, out of paper, and you can put them all over. You can add them. So I'm going to add the Yoda ears, and I'm going to add a big Death Star to the bottom with some cute bows and flowers. And I made you another layer and just cut it slightly smaller of the L. I could manually do that since it's an L to give it a little bit more size. I would love to do acetate and make it shaker with glitter. So that's the goal. Will I get to it? I don't know, but I'm not gonna I'm gonna prep it all by myself because if I'm live, I won't actually get it done. So she's cool. She's awesome. You guys will see pictures of her. And tune in for part 2 where I add the add-ons. And that's how you kind of like, those are just some tips and tricks for assembling the big ones. And if you guys want me to do any other letters, let me know. If these are a hit, we will have them available. We already will, no matter if they're a hit or not. We are separating them out and adding them to Etsy individually, but obviously my members get all 26 letters. And I believe we have 0 through 9 too in the 3-foot letters. Cuttable on your regular Cricut, and your silhouettes and your lasers. So, well, your bigger lasers, honestly, because the Aura only does 12 by 12. So, it's hit or miss. But, hope that helped. If you're trying to do the 3D letters, if you didn't know we had 3D letters, we have a lot of stuff that I'm going to start demoing because I feel like the membership has grown massively and a lot of people don't know what we have because I disappeared from the internet. So, I'm glad to be back. Going to be doing more stuff like this with you guys randomly. No schedule yet, but hopefully soon. All right. Love you guys. See you guys in part 2.